Danjo to all my relations. Hello and welcome. I am Nicole Marie, Indi Antigua, for my great-grandma and my great-grandfather. Shout out to Abby from the Rooted and Rest YouTube channel and Jessica from the Waldock Way. They are doing this collab video once a month. So there's a playlist. If you guys look in the description box, you can see other videos, how other homeschool families teach geography. It's about talking openly about all the countries, because geography and people, cultures, traditions, religions, they all go hand in hand. And so it's very hard to, it's so massive, right? There's so much information. And it's important that my family knows who they are and where they come from. They need to know their ancestors. They need to know where they come from. And our ancestors, they planted seeds for us, and we are here and we are growing and we are thriving. I thought maybe I should put this on, huh? I will link the links below from the not native inspired, but inspired natives. I highly suggest you do shop inspired natives and not native inspired, because it's very different. It's very important to support our native people. Here's a book I've introduced to my children, and it's very important that we have books that are by native people, that our daughters can see and know that yes, our people struggled, our people are still struggling, and we all still have trauma, but we are still here. And it is important that they know they are loved and they are special and they are enough. And having these books around to show and embrace all the beautiful writers, all the beautiful illustrators, all the beautiful artists that have, and engineers and scientists, and so many of our native people are thriving and succeeding and doing beautiful things and helping our earth for you and for me. And there is a book too I have, we are all water protectors. And I tell my girls, they are water protectors. And they truly are, because we start at a young age. And for me, geography is about talking, not so much of the stuff, the materials. It's about communicating with them and talking to them and letting them know all about other people's cultures, so we can have that relationship. So I like to start with fun crafts. So printing paper, and I'll have them draw shapes, and they have to map their room, and it's such a fun activity. I've done it with all three of my girls. I did make this one today just to show you an example of what I've done in the past with my youngest children when they were in the preschool or TK and kinder years. They have fun even when they're older. Sometimes I've caught them mapping the living room and doing shapes, like here's the couch and here's where that's at, and here's where this shelf is, and they've done the kitchen. And then when you have them map each room, they can put it together on wrapping paper and glue them on, or even just taping the papers together, and there's a map of the house. It's so fun. And then another example would be just getting a print paper, and I would cut out shapes. So here's and just laying them across the table. They're more than welcome to cut their own shapes. For some reason, if they had a rug that's round, they can use this as their bed. For these smaller shapes, I just let them know, okay, for these smaller shapes, these ones are the doors and windows. Okay, where's the door in the room? Am I walking in this way? Am I walking that way? And so they'll glue it to where they know their door is. And they're like, oh, where's the window? Oh, the window's over here. And I'll be, oh, is it on that side? Let's go look. And we'll go to the room and we'll check it out. And then they can even do this in the room. It's probably more helpful. And then they'll be, oh, actually, no, the window's over here. And then, they'll do their bed. Be like, oh, is your bed right here? You'll get some giggles, just having fun with it. And then until they find the bed. And then, of course, if they want, they can add a fun pillow to put on top. So that's just another idea we've done in the past. I have it also done where they draw it and they go to town. This is just a quick write-up for you to see a little visual, but they'll even draw, the ruffled sheets and all the details, and it just comes out so beautiful. And there's their first map. It's really exciting. Okay, another craft that we've done paper bags. I don't have brown paper lunch bags, but so we just fold over the paper bag after we've opened it, and we use a lot of shapes, and they go to town, and we'll do the whole community. So it'll be like the fire station, the police station, the post office, our home, and anyone that we know that lives in our city will do their home. And then we'll kind of map it out. We'll put it on the table. Sometimes they add like black roads, but we always bring out our little fun Hot Wheel cars. They have little play cars. And then blocks. They use their building blocks. That's another great way to incorporate geography, is blocks, and just letting them play with them, like not necessarily doing much and adding too much curriculum, but just playing, just let them have that play, and they figure out like where things go, and a lot of things are happening when they're playing with blocks and building. Break those out, and even if they're playing with blocks, I'm like, boom, that counts as geography. Another thing we have done is mapping. When we find maps in books, it's an exciting like treasure, like, oh, look at what we just found. So we have, I remember seeing this, I'll be, ooh, let's make our own map and let's go to, and then they'll be like, oh, let's go where Penguin went to the beach, or oh, let's go to where Penguin lives, the Arctic, and they'll draw a fun map, and I just let them go to town because it's all about playing and just enjoying the map making process. Another thing I've done, because I'm such a big fan of Winnie the Pooh, but I've had the girls do a map of, they have their favorite stuffed animals, right? So I'll say, okay, I know you have your favorite stuffies, why don't you go get them? And then they would get them and pull them out. I say, okay, let's make a map, but it's going to be, where do you want your babies, your stuffies, where do you want them to live? Because Christopher Robin's, his babies, they live in the 100-acre woods, and this is a map of where they live. And then, we'll talk about everything that's on the map. It's super fun though. It's all about having fun and enjoying it. And she would, they would put, okay, my baby polar bear lives here, the stuffy. My little sloth that we call Slothy lives here. And then they would have fun, and it's so fun map making like that. And then another fun one we've done is going on a bear hunt. Can easily check out the book or hear the audible, and then map making and pausing the audible or reading one part and adding that to your map. We like using like wrapping paper, but like popping that map out. I know there's lots of inspiration of how you can pop out your map making. Like for toilet paper rolls, that would be like maybe the cave or a tunnel they went through, and you glue the toilet paper roll onto your map, so it's almost like this 3D map effect, and it's so fun. And then you can play the song, and then you go and follow your map, and then you try to mimic it. So like in the living room, if we had like a tunnel, we would want to try and copy the tunnel. So that's like another step into the map making skills and getting them used to seeing maps. Because I did that, I don't know if they have a love for math, but I think it's just fun when they see maps. So when we go to any of our local zoos or local parks, they want the map. And they are so sweet because they are very cautious. So they will not get a new map unless theirs has been lost and damaged. And then sometimes they remember to pack it, sometimes they don't, but they just like opening it up and reading the map. And it's great because they're reading it, and it's another way of reading time, reading the map with your child, and it's actual places, right? Going to the zoo, and I let them lead me, and I'll be like, okay, you lead the way and I'll be right behind you. And they use their map, and just getting that communication going and talking, because again, it's all about communicating about all these cultures, the traditions, the richness of that country or that city, and the families, and also just a self-led thing. So right now my 6-year-old is in, she loves stationery stuff, and she found this beautiful book at our library. She wants to go to Japan one day, so she's been learning all about Japan, and this is just all on her own. I don't tell her what to check out from the library. She just looks it up on the library search engine, and she'll find books that she loves. She's been checking out two for the past 2 years that I might just put it in her, I might just add it to her like birthday or Christmas gift, because honestly she just keeps checking them out. If they're due, she'll recheck them out when the person's returned it. She'll be on that wait list for those books. And then a new one she's checked out was the Hello Tokyo. She's also a huge fan of stationery, so when she seen this, it just was like, but there was a little bit in here about bento boxes, and what is a bento box, so she made her own book, and this is just her doing her own thing. I don't tell them what to do. They again, I think it's important because we, at a young age, we're talking about who we are and where we come from, and then we talk about how everyone that we meet and everyone outside the door comes from a different background and a different culture or different religion, or they have a religion that they practice that is not the same as ours. And we always talk about how we respect each other's traditions, whether we agree with them or not. We can keep our own opinions but still be very respectful. So yeah, my children, my 6th grader, she did that, and then she's like, Mom, you got this what is this, the everyday egg cooker? She's like, can I get it out and let's open it? It's been like a month or so. So I'm like, you know what, go for it. So she opened it, she read how to clean it, she got the cleaning done, she did all the steps on her own, and she made her own bento box that was like, because everything has a history, has a story of where it started. So sometimes we just come across things, and then that just helps spark our new study for that month, or if it's something we want to study all year, we'll keep it going. Or if it's independent, I'll let them do their own thing, and then they share with each other. I love that they share with each other, because they're educating each other on the things they've learned. And then of course we read Nim's Island, and talking about islands, and that brought up Hawaii and how Hawaii is suffering. We don't even want to travel to Hawaii because it's killing the birds. Birds are going extinct. In fact, the honey creeper is basically extinct. The Europeans, they brought in the mosquitoes, and they brought in the diseases. When they brought that mosquito, it never left, and it just kept attacking. And then with climate change, what happened is the honey creeper, was able to hide and get away from that mosquito. But when climate changed, that humidity traveled up higher. And when the humidity traveled up higher, the honey creeper was no longer able to hide, because now the mosquito can reach them. And now that honey creeper is basically extinct. And so yeah, when we talk about that, and we talk about real life topics together, and we just are real with each other, and we just dive deep, and we learn it together, and we talk about it, and we say how we can help. And one thing my girls are like, Mom, I know we went to Hawaii once when we were little. We don't want to travel there again. The island is already hurting. And I love that they have that in their hearts at such a young age. It's so important to teach things and truthfulness early. So it's so important to keep it going and not forget how it affects our earth that we all live on. And so yeah, so this was a little map she did she didn't know what was in here, but and then that also brought us into coral reef talks. My 6th grader knows a lot about the coral reef, so she did a lot of helping teach that to the younger sisters, and relearning a little more and seeing if we can add something new to her. And so we ended up seeing a map of all the places the coral reefs are. So we looked at here, and then we compare it to our wall map. And I like to have this cloth map in a easy access area where they can see it, they can reach it, and they can discover all the things. If they hear something on TV, or they hear someone talking about a place, wherever it may be, they'll ask like, where is that place? I'm like, oh, that's a city, but that city's in, and then we'll find it. like, okay, yeah, it's in the United States, but maybe they want to see it more zoomed in. So underneath I have our state maps. We'll go in on the, okay, we're gonna zoom in. Okay, that city was right here in Fresno. And if you zoom in, the city is like our city, right? It has lots of things and what's in that city. And we'll just, like, again, it's that communication and having a map within arm's reach, especially for the young toddlers. It is so important, you know, and it's very helpful. I have found it very helpful for all of us in the family, and it's been great. I got this guy on Amazon. It's a cloth map. So if it gets dirty with cute little fingers and smudges, I can easily wash it and hang dry it. Okay, so another fun thing that we do is we watch KPBS, Let's Go Luna. We love Let's Go Luna. We love Molly of Denali. When that came out, I cried because it's so nice to see something that my children can relate to. Okay, and then what we're doing right now for this school year, my 6th grader, she's doing her own self-led Japanese study, and she's tagging us along, and we're learning from her. And then we're also learning all together as a family about Amazing Africa, and this is by Amber O'Neill Johnson. So we'll be starting that, and it's basically reading a picture book about a certain country in Africa and doing like a coloring sheet of that country and talking about it. So again, it's so important that we talk about it. And I have them also have their spiral notebooks, and I have here, so it'll be past. Anything they want to jot down and remember for the past that sticks to them or that stands out to them, they can add it into their past. And then I have a present, so whatever's happening now, and they also can like glue in pictures or post. And then future, anything they want to see in the future or what they hope for the future is something they can put here. So that is what we're working on right now. Geography goes in hand, you know, with so many things. Everything is kind of just connected, right? So just mixing them all together and then having a map to show, you know, where it's happening or who lives there or what they're doing. And just because we live here doesn't mean, you know, our culture changes, you know. We take it with us always. Thank you so much for staying until the end. I know it was such a long video, and I appreciate you staying with me. And if you made it this far, I'm going to go ahead and do one short read with you. Why don't we read from This Land is My Land, and this is by George Littlechild. And I'm just going to read a little bit about what he says right here. In Indian country, we are reviving our culture and traditions. Working as an artist is my way of healing the pain of the past and healing the next generation of Indian people. My goal is to heighten awareness of the history and experiences of Native peoples of the Americas and to promote understanding among all peoples. Okay, so over here we have just one bin here, and I've also done passports, little passports. I did 1 year of that with my now 6th grader. I didn't repurchase it every year for all my children. I just kept all the booklets, and they love going through that, and we can sometimes pull it out if we're talking about something in particular. We can go back over here, and this is like a nice reference. This we got from as a gift, so we just play this for fun. Using the maps, I'm not going to take them out, but using actual maps from places we go, they'll pull those out. And then we've also got little passports from the, what is this place? I think it's like the next age group up. I can't remember. We have the luggage somewhere else, but here's another luggage. I actually got this from the thrift shop. But yeah, we'll just play. Sometimes we play at airports, and we'll do that. And then also I got this from the the Target spot. And I just have this on the whiteboard, and they just play and do it whenever they like. And that's just another way of them learning the states. Yeah, here it is. And yeah, so like I'll just let them go to town. Like they can do it. I do leave that little piece I ripped off to save if they need it. But yeah, this is another fun thing that we do. Thank you again for all of you who stayed till the end. Have a great day, and thank you again for listening to me talk all about all the things that we do here on our little side of town.